For those, obviously, who've been following the struggle for Sikh sovereignty, the term fake encounter is a phrase that is just unfortunately so ingrained in some very, very deeply traumatized memories. Fake encounters. It is a trauma, effectively, that has defined a generation of Sikhs in Punjab and now out in the diaspora. Because, of course, during the 1980s and 1990s, under people like the Butcher of Punjab, basically the Punjab police force, it is believed that over 100,000 young Sikh men were disappeared. Basically, the playbook was very simple. They were arrested, they were taken away, disappeared, they were tortured, quite often just taken out into the countryside and just executed in cold blood. And then they're either just vanished, or indeed they were claimed that they were killed in crossfire or a shootout or some other completely fabricated backstory. And obviously, for years since those awful times, it was hoped that those days were long gone, that never to return to such horror. But sadly, as we've had to report, increasingly so, increasing frequency over the last few months, the Indian state just seems to have dusted off this old playbook, and it seems to be playing the same old dangerous game again. What we are seeing is a very clear trend, an increase in extrajudicial killings that bypass any sort of semblance of legal due process, or indeed democratic legal process. Well, why? Because the Indian state is finding that its weaponised laws, these laws that I often talk about that have been weaponised against the Sikh people primarily, and of course the Khalistan movement, as restrictive even as they are, they're still not managing to suppress the growing Khalistan movement. So it is looking for ways to impose itself on an even more powerful way. So when you can't win the argument in the court of public opinion, or even in a court of law, as it turns out, you resort to illegal means, or the gun, worse still. And this, sadly, is what has happened in Punjab.